Well, I haven't been feeling too good, but feel up and now. And I figured it's been such a long time since I've done this. It might be a good time to do a live feed. So I haven't announced it, and there's nobody here at the moment. So it might be a good time to go and get something to eat. Um, all right. So what we've been doing is lots of work on the Fairlane of all things. There's been um, cutting and welding repairs for the plenum chamber and the upper and lower plenum chamber because I damaged the upper one when I removed it. There was 4,000 million spot welds, and it was a pain in the neck to get off. But I ended up getting it off, and it came off quite well. And there's a bit more rust around the front of it I've got to do. Not a great deal. What's this? I haven't done this for ages, and things have changed. You can now put people in timeout for different lengths. Oh, there's 9 people here. Should have put them on timeout. The XC is sitting there waiting. I've not got to do much, and I can go and get that roadworthy. The EJ, I've got that 6-cylinder engine I've got to test. I've got to write an ad for all the grey matter stuff. I'm going to get rid of that. And I've got to get rid of a 2-door Merc that's been sitting in the front yard, and I don't want it there. What else have I got to do? I've got loads of stuff to do. There's work stuff, which is always... Hello, Matt. From Tokyo. How are you? Are you well? There's work stuff coming up. It's a busy term at school, so yeah. If I disappear for a while, that's probably the reason why. It always gets sort of heavy with assessments and hello, Paul, and reporting and all that sort of stuff. I wasn't there on Friday. I feel bad about that, and it was a busy day for me normally. So just more of the same, really. I've got all the parts now to rebuild that transmission. So I've got a new torque converter for it, and steel and friction clutches, and a rebuild kit, and Sprag rebuild kit. Very cool. Hello, Stefan. Hello from New Zealand. G'day, Jay McCormick. I beg your pardon. So I've got all the stuff to do it. Working at Rapid Tune. Oh, is that Matt Treadray? Rapid Tune. Been a while since I caught. Yeah, it's been about 12 months. I think the last time I did a live, Graham was here. That was a while ago now. Hello, Intrepids. How are you? Hope you all saw some green ones, same as yours. The K remind me of all the wonders of my Asperger's sense of humour. I drive that little green Corolla around. I've done 30,000 Ks in it. Like I've been everywhere in the thing. The one and only Matt Treadray. So Matt, I met years ago. He was a student at my school. Well, he was from another school, and he did a vet course, which I was teaching. And then he sort of disappeared for a while and got a job eventually being the manager of the Burson auto parts store. And he was doing that for a while. Then he disappeared from there and went to another store, and then he came back. And it was good to see him. I don't know anyone there. I used to know everyone at Burson. They did put their prices up, and I found it very expensive. And so I went there a little bit less, but it was always good to see Matt. Hey, mate, what made you get a ZK Fairlane? Seemed random. I always loved yeah. No, look, it is a random thing. And you're the guy who gave me the interior light, didn't you? Was that Mark Stein? I've wanted one for ages. I liked them when I was a kid. I remember sitting in one at the motor show and thinking it was the most luxurious car I'd ever been in. Well, sat in. And I got this one, a healthy 6. I probably should have left it a 6, but no, I put a V8 in. Well, I haven't put it in yet. I'm just been doing the rust repairs and this sort of stuff. And that's always good, a sense of achievement. And the transmission, that'll be a new C4. Even though I went to the transmission place in Ringwood, and I don't know them. previously I'd been years ago when I did some C4s up. I went to Impact Autos in Croydon, and they were wonderful. Guy called Mark Craig, and I bought the stuff I needed from him, and he told me what to do. Yeah, he did give me the interior light. That is you, Mark. Thank you. And Mark was really helpful. I went to the Ringwood one, and I said I need a converter and a set of clutches, and he goes, "Just bring your transmission down," something like that. And I said, "No, I'm doing it myself." He goes, "I'm not selling knowledge." It's like, come on. He was kind of grumpy. He warmed up in the end. He was all right in the end. But I probably should have gone to Impact. I don't know. I don't even know if they're still around in Croydon. But so anyway, I bought everything to redo this transmission. So it's all good. I was going to do it today, but I haven't got assembly lube. We used to use Snow White petroleum jelly in autos. I don't know what they use now, but there are specialist transmission lubricants, assembly lubricants you can use. So there you go. Have I missed anything here? On a holiday with the family, long time watcher, big fan. Thank you very much, Tonga 007. So I've been very lucky because Mark gave me the interior light for the Fairlane. A guy called Addison gave me two Thomson power steering pumps. And so one of them went in the XC. They're the old big canister type ones. One went in the XC, one's going in the XA, and the XC had a Sagnor, and that's going in the Fairlane. So I've always been kind of fortunate with all these sorts of things, and people being kind and throwing bits and pieces at me so I can get the cars done. The Fairlane, I'm going to have to paint the whole car. I've got one door. I've taken the skin off a door. A wonderful bloke called Marty donated a door, an XF door, and so I haven't pulled the skin off it. It's not straight. The frame's extremely good. The skin's pretty good, but this skin's straight as an arrow. So I figured it was easier pulling the skin off than repairing the other one, if you know what I mean. Harvey's here. Hope everything's well. Did you hear that the Holden Museum in Echuca closed and many of the Holdens and all of the memorabilia is being auctioned off? No. I actually had no idea about that. I've got to ask you something too. I bought a set of gauges for the XA. They're GT gauge. Well, they're the wrong ones. They're XB ones. The two little ones at the top. Is there anything I need to know about those? Is the voltage regulator in them? Do they need to be reconditioned? Like, they're second-hand ones from eBay. I was going to actually send you an email. Rear pillar lights. Oh yeah, I haven't got. Yeah, the ones I need are Hello, pedal van man. The ones I need are XA ones. I've got a whole lot of XC, XD ones, but they're knackered. The best set I put in the GXL. So that I'd like to get that and a couple of motorcycles roadworthy this year. I think I need to get that finished because it's been dragging on forever and a day. But yeah, no, everything's going well. I figured I'd just get on and say a quick hello. I won't be here for forever, but and I didn't have any content for another video at this point, so I figured I'd explain where I've been and what I've been doing. So it's just more of the same, really. Cutting and welding. I'm not going to record all that. Everyone does that, and my welding's all right, but not brilliant. It does penetrate and it's very strong, but sometimes you sort of film stuff and you think, do I really want anyone to see that? But I guess the most important thing with this sort of thing is to be honest about it. That's probably the most important thing. 44 people. Wow. It must be time for some tea. And I've got the obligatory Yorkshire Gold. Hang on. Is that better? Have I got a good signal? There seems to be a delay. They'll need to be thoroughly checked. Ugh. and new regulators fitted, you definitely won't be able to just chuck them in. Oh man. The plenum on the what it called? Fairlane is a lot simpler than the Holden one, but harder to get off. Like they spot welded the snot out of that thing. Like they've done like little ones, and there's like a group of three. And the problem with it was, hello, how are you, Andy Penny? The problem with it is getting them out makes a mess. It's not just like a tiny little 6 or 8 millimeter thing and then it comes off. Like some of them, I did some of them like that. But these are just messed up. So I ended up cutting some of the rail out of the upper plenum and replacing it. Too many spots. Oh, ludicrous. Very easy once you get it off. Like there's nothing difficult about it. But yeah, getting it off was just was pretty difficult. The Holden was a lot easier, although that was challenging in a way because it's a little bit there's more pieces to it, and I drilled through the top of it thinking I was going to pull the dash, but I was thinking I might actually leave that dash in. My daughter's taken a shine to that car. Hello, Greg. And she wants the EJ, but she wants it. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better, thanks, Michael. She wants it as an auto, and so I bought that red motor. I thought if she's going to use that, I might just make it a red motor and change the tunnel and do all this sort of stuff. I've got to cut a load of metal out of that thing. It's got a lot of rust in it. The auction on May 18, I'll see if I can find a link. It'll be interesting to see how much these cars go for. Yeah. Right now, there's an HK Monaro on a separate auction currently at 139,000. It's a lot of money. Too much for me. I haven't even got $139 at the moment. Well, I could probably find that, but I've always bought crappy cars, just junk, and done them up because I couldn't afford nice ones of that model, if that makes any sense. So the XW, I think I paid 5,200. G'day, Larry. In 2013. I was looking for an X. Oh, Mark, $20. Thank you so much. That's very kind. When I was I was looking for an XY in 2007. And there was one for 6.5. It was one of the cheapest ones, and it was in North Ringwood. And it was grey with a red, like a blood red sort of interior, and it wasn't very nice. And they wanted, how much do you want for it? 6.5, which back then was, a fair bit. But I didn't end up getting it. I think I got a splinter. I bought the Galaxy for another $1,000, or I think it was 7,200 for that white Galaxy I had. Yeah, HK Monaro $600. I bought one from a friend's dad in 1985 or 6. Gee whiz, Michael, thank you so much. I bought one in 1986 for 500. That was an HT GTS. Bought a years ago Vet Class XB 1HC for like 500 a pop, and you destroyed them. Yeah. When I was at the school, when Matt Treadray, he was on this live feed. We bought a 302 XC for $100. The boot was full of water, and we started cutting rust out, but we never did anything with it. Oh, thank you very much. I've got this one, but this is they don't serve them like that when you go to the shops. No, that's wonderful. So what was I saying? Yeah, so we picked it up for like $100. The XB, we got an XB as well, 3021. Guy wanted, he ripped us off, $600 for that. They're both Fairmonts, air conditioned, I think. They're both 302 C4 cars. I'm still at the same email, yeah. Use my personal one. I wanted to ask you about those gauges. Do you know if there's a few things I want to ask you. I'll wait till the email. And You know, of course, it's a paying job if you want to do it. I don't expect it for nothing. Brian O'Connor, g'day Pete. Love your work. Been watching you for a long time. Thank you, Brian. I didn't want to actually put content up that didn't have anything in it. There are guys that are getting huge amounts of views and they don't do anything. They just sit there talking. I always want to make sure there's some content. G'day, Tom Selleck. How are you, DJ? This is DJ, Automotive Carnage. You've got to watch his channel. And if you Google Automotive Carnage, it'll come straight up. It's a fantastic channel. And the XA was one of DJ's cars that he rescued out of the outback for me, and it was stuffed. It was absolutely knackered. And it would have been too much for me to do had Graham Newbury not changed the roof. He found a roof and B pillars and everything for like $300, and it was incredible what he did. And DJ, of course, travelled about 1,000 k's to go get it. See you, Matt. Look after yourself, won't you? Reese, hello. How are you, Reese? Hang on a second. Arnold's YouTube channel, Iron Empire, he's done an awesome job on doing his FC. Anyway, love it. Yeah, that does look pretty good. He did a rant video, and I thought, would I do that? Where he was blowing off and swearing about COVID prices or the price of cars or something. Yeah, DJ. So you got to have a look at that. It's brilliant. Loving the goodies you bought. The diff is no. Yeah, John picked the diff up today or yesterday. He had, get this, it's an aftermarket 9-inch housing, and it looks. It's not one of those like rectangle ones. If you don't, what do you call them? Hexagonal ones. It's a proper, And he had his work. He works for a restoration house, Hilly Factory. And they planted it. Cost him $450, and you could eat off it. You should see it. The paint job on the diff is better than. Anyway, he got the center, and it's a 325 limited slip center. I've got to give him some brackets and rear calipers. He's got the rear discs. We're putting discs on it, and I don't know what he's spent. I wouldn't have a clue. It's a 393 top loader going in it, but it'll look like a Fairmont GS. It won't be modified on the outside. Hang on. Enjoying content lately, Peter. Our plater has gone. Yeah, look. So, what was it? Warner's Metro don't do the plating anymore, and the guy that worked there now works at Big Zinc in Montrose, and that's where I've been going. They're nice people. I miss Warner's, put it that way. I really do. I think their work was a little bit nicer, if I'm going to be quite honest, and about a third of the price. And I string my own stuff too. So I'm bummed about the plating. Also, the gold isn't real. It's more a yellowy gold. It's a different one. Yeah, the XA's bought a console for it. Jason Hill's got the upholstery. Graham donated some buckets, and so it's all getting a parchment with the dark brown saddle cloth trim. John's got the shifter, but he hasn't got the gearbox. I don't think he's got a top loader for it yet. But yeah, and I've got a Clevo block here from Marty, but it's at 30, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll enjoy your content lately. Uploaded something new. What did I say I had new? I can't remember. Yeah, I'll speak to you in that email, Harvey. Interesting, informative. Thank you very much. Get to work on that pacer. Yeah, I want to see that pacer too. How Adelaide RC guy, you use Nut Channel. This is Graham. Graham's a magician with metal. And he's a very good friend of, he's got a few friends, Graham, which is surprising. But he's got a few good mates. Byron, Down the Shed with Byron, you've got to watch him too. He did a killer set of videos on his HT. He found, I think DJ sourced the car in the Outback, and Byron got it going. I keep getting messages. I love stuff like that. There's another channel I was watching, V8 Jake, and a small channel. I don't know how long he's been going for, and he likes mucking around with old Holdens and stuff like that. No, I love that stuff. Too many people on, doing $1 million stuff, and I can't do that. I'd love to see what you do with that pacer, DJ. Howdy, Graham. Oh, crap. I've missed a whole lot. Hang on a second. Hang on. Whoa. I've got to go back. Matt, I used to like INE, but too much shoddy cover-up crap to sell on. He does flip his cars a lot. I don't know anything about him, though. Mark Arnold, I think his name is. He seems pretty good. I don't know. I don't know anything about him. I'm a wealth of knowledge. Well, I said in a video, and everyone disagreed with it, 302s have a C4 case pan-filled. 6, as some of the towing pack ones had a case-filled one. All 351s had FMXs. Oh, that opened up a can of worms. Well, they always are specified with that, but then Graham said Borg Warner had a strike when the XA model was around. Couldn't get the rear axles. They were sticking 9 inches in everything. 302s and 6-cylinder cars as well. Ford do funny things. If they haven't got stock of something, they're not going to slow down the production line. They're just going to stick whatever fits in. And if it's a 302, if it's a 351 with a C4, then they'll do it. I mean, I'm sure they're around, but on the spec sheet, they were always FMXs. Is the ZK anything like the ZG? Not really. ZG is more like a ZF and ZG are very close. Uncle had a bronze one. I think it had a cream vinyl roof, orange mags. Love looking at that car. The ZK is like a ZJ. They're very close. They're the XD Blackwood sort of platform. I think they called them Redwood, the XE. Don't ask me why the chat is coming through as not XA Coupe guy. That's because you sold your XA Coupe. And YouTube's saying, no, you can't use that name. It's got to be the RC guy because you have RC cars. G'day, fellas. Pacer parts are pricey, but we're getting there slowly. Good on you, buddy. I love what you do, DJ. DJ, I reckon, is going to be very fast growing channel. People just love it because no one else does it. Well, people do it, but they don't do it like he does. He's got this upbeat energy, and I wish I had that because I haven't got it. I watch my video, even if I think I'm being really animated, I watch them back and it's like, I'm just not as good. That's better. Dumb computers. I've been watching all your videos, Peter. You do a fantastic job. Thank you, Bill. Are you Bill that I got the handbrake cable from? I bought a handbrake cable from a guy called Bill. He had a hard top and an XE with a 351 and all this. What do I teach? I teach product design. I used to teach automotive, but I don't anymore. The school I work at has its own RTO, so they teach apprentices. I taught it as a vet class, which was vocational education and training. But product design is portfolio based, and they use materials such as they could use wood, plastics, metal, all that sort of stuff. Oh, Graham's decided to start sending messages. This is what he does. You don't want to do a live feed with that bastard around. He said, you smart-ass mother. Not allowed to use the XA name. Yeah, because you haven't got one. You can have some of that too. No one saw that, right? Yeah, so product design. You pull it had an F100 a few months ago. It had a 411 LSD and it was under $200. Good fight. Yeah, I'll say. Paul says hi to Graham. We all say hello to Graham. He's good fun to have around. Hey, Pete, wondering if you know Charlie's thoughts on the MG. My niece is thinking of getting it. The MG, Charlie had a ZS and it was a good little car. I think Charlie did 20 or 30,000 Ks, 30,000 Ks in it. A couple of things concerned me. It had this unfortunate thing, and your niece will know as soon as she drives it, where it would hesitate. If you're doing a U-turn and you go to put in, and there's cars coming, you think, oh, I better go. There'd be a hesitation, then it'd go. There was, and it was a software thing, and I think those first gen ZSs suffered from that. Charlie had the 1 point, was it a 1.5? It was a 4-cylinder, and when you take the oil cap off, another thing to look at is the timing chain literally looked like a bracelet. It was so thin, and I know Mercedes-Benz had a problem with them in 380s, but theirs would have been infinitely stronger, and they used to break. So the timing chain worried me, the hesitation worried me, and the only other thing that worried me is the panel thickness is so thin that it did sustain some hail damage on the roof, and it wasn't a big hailstorm at all. The panel thickness is very thin. Aside from that, it drove beautifully. It was a nice car to drive, and it was pretty good on fuel. Hey, Peter from Phil. Hello, Phil. How are you today? Has anyone had any experience with these 3-in-1 welders, MIG, TIG, and stick? I'm interested in giving TIG a go on a thin panel steel. I should do some TIG welding too. I don't know how to do it. A wonderful bloke called Gil, great fella. He offered to teach me, and I was going to be there all day. I think I didn't have time that day. Pardon me. Serious. Hang on. Where are we going? DJ has. Oh, hang on. I've got to go back up. This is. I've got to have more tea. Look. Sorry, doctor. I don't know anything about 3-in-1 welders. I've just got a MIG. DJ, a mate has a 245 with triples. There's a guy that does rebuilds on Mopar 6-cylinder stuff, and they are seriously quick. Every second word he's dropping F-bombs. But he's got, he knows what he's doing. He really knows his stuff. A mate has a 245 with triples. I'll get hold of him and ask if he'll part with it. Not running for 30 years, but still undercover. DJ would have loved that. He's a real Mopar freak. He's Phil, and he's also got an XF Falcon. Serious plating questions. Is that plating? I have some bolts with black oxide finish. Have you ever had black bolts plated in gold or silver zinc? No. Lately, I used to just, with Warners, you could take a whole bucket of just dirty, greasy bolts in, and they would string them for you, and they'd come out just looking mint. Oily bolts always come out looking better because they're not rusted. Rust causes pitting, and you don't get an even finish on the zinc. Now I get them hydroblasted, and I normally have a box. Well, I've got a box with stuff I've got to get hydroblasted before I have it plated or powder coated. So, well, not powder coated, sorry. That has to be sandblasted because it needs a key. But yeah, before I paint, like an air cleaner, if I'm going to paint an air cleaner, I'll have it hydroblasted because I can't be bothered cleaning that stuff. But I don't know if it's got a black oxide finish. That'd probably blast off. I would think they would, because if you hydroblast it, then goes into an etch, which is hydrochloric acid, and then they do the plating process. So I would think it would work. The best way to do it is, if you've got some plating to do, stick a couple of black oxide ones on to see what happens with them. Ford did some seriously weird stuff. I've seen a factory built XC Coupe with an XP dash fitted from factory. They were known for crossing stuff over. I've never seen a dash in one, but certainly things like XB stuff shows up in XCs, and XD stuff shows up in the last of the XCs. They do run stock out. The frustrating part is when they've gone over to metric from Imperial, the doors have 6x1 mm pitch metric stuff and 5/16 course. I haven't seen a door with the 6x1 and quarter 20s, which are the quarter-inch UNCs. That'd be a pain because you've got to really look at them to tell them apart. I've got a YouTube channel too now, Bill's channel. Yeah, we'll have a look at that. They put 9s in F100s with a crossflow. Yeah, they would. That doesn't surprise me. Love watching your channel, Peter. I've been watching for a long time. Thank you very much, Greg. Hopefully you keep watching. I'm another Bill from Matt Gambia. Right, so you're not the guy. I watch Graham, DJ, Byron, and Don's Tricks. Don's a great guy. His name isn't even Don. What's his name? Gary or something, isn't it? Don's Tricks. Someone. What's his name? It's not Don, though, I'm sure. Love them all. I'm glad Graham is back on the EJ. So am I. Can't wait for TJ's pace of progress. Been the Mopar tragic and enjoyed Byron the Big Fella's HTU build. Yeah, he did a great job with that. Some of the DJ's a very, very accomplished mechanic, and I don't watch some of that stuff because I know how to do it. Like, I'm not going to watch a video on how to do a timing chain or Subi or whatever. I don't even know if he's done that. It's just an example. But I don't generally watch how-to videos, not because I know everything, but I've only got a brain this big, and so I've got to fill it with what's here. I can't afford to put other bits in it because then I'll start forgetting stuff. There's some good Aussie channels. Yeah, XA Coupe Guy, Byron's Downshed with Byron, Automotive Carnage, Don's Tricks. Try this other guy. I thought he was funny. V8 Jake. I thought he was funny. How long to close the side of your shed now it's winter? I don't know. Do you know what happens? Every time I've got a little bit of money left, I go and buy parts. I had to buy a torque converter. That was nearly $400. And the auto transmission stuff, that's ended up being quite expensive, but I will close it in. I wanted to have a sliding door so I can open up in the summer because it's nice in there with that whole side open in the summertime. It's beautiful. But I was going to make a track and just get some RHS, some thin 1.6 RHS, make a frame and just clad it. Any more vids coming? Graham's doing some shorts. You can answer that, Graham. Yes, he knows his shit with Hemi sixes. Who's that? Is that? Oh, yeah. Mirabeto Performance. Yeah, he does. Oh, Daniel. Hey, Peter. Always like to see the progress on your projects. Just saw you wrestle with the plenum on the ZK. Perhaps you could have cut that bit out of my old rusty one. Is yours in good nick, is it? It's a pig to get to. To get that plenum off as a pig, you don't want to start drilling those out unless you really have to. I should take the one off my XD because that's got some rust in it, but it's got a small spot on the other side. It doesn't leak into the car, but it's rusted. I don't even know if the floor of the plenum has got any rust in it, but it's rusted on the outside of it near the guard. So at some point I'll cut that out and I'll weld a new piece of metal in. It might, when I cut that out, so you could probably just shoot a camera in there and have a look. After doing my apprenticeship at Ford Broadmeadows electrician, I can attest to some strange happenings at the production line. I reckon a lot of people can. There's a lot of things. Holden were probably no different. No more tank videos for a while. It's hibernating Country Vic. Now the focus is going to be the EJ. So Graham's going to do his EJ and paint it pink. It's a hell of a nice colour. It's a really nice colour. It's not, I wouldn't even call it pink. It's sort of, well, it is pink, I suppose. It's kind of like a dark watermelon-y colour, which is pink. So I've got a bit more on the Fairlane before I can button it up. And I've got to also clean off, all around the screen. There's a little bit of surface rust in the lower bits of the A's. And I'll put a bit of phosphoric on that. I don't have to do much. There's nothing going through, anything like that. It's not like a Sigma. I was cutting bits out of that, but this is pretty good. And I've got a bit of phosphoric on those bits. Then I'll epotech around the screen and on the floor of the plenum and also under the lid of the plenum. But I've got to get some of that copper spray. It's a U-pole weld through primer copper stuff, and I'll spray that around. Then I'll weld the top on. And once I've welded the top on, I'll seam seal it on the edge like it was. And then I'm going to steam clean all that engine bay, get that all clean. Then I'll paint the engine bay and the top of the plenum at the same time. Once the engine bay is painted, I can put the engine and the transmission and some of the jewelry in. I've got loads of stuff here that's been plated or powder coated or, reconditioned like that nice 302. And I'm looking forward to just getting it off the floor and sticking it all in. Normal tank, yeah, we saw that. I can't believe no one wanted to buy it when I had it up. So he had his people don't want projects. Well, the people that want projects want to get them for free. That's the problem with that. How long have I been on here? 35 minutes. And it was clearly a car that was a bit above that. ilk. Had a couple of YouTube names. X. I don't know these ones. Says I've started my YouTube now, known as Bill's channel. From Mount Gambier, I've been enjoying your channel. Thank you so much. I have an XC twin headlight grill in great condition. Best offer gets it. Does anyone have a requirement for a GS XC grill? Originally, when I got mine, I was thinking about putting one in, but changed my mind. I'm looking forward to Graham Z. Jane in his pink dress. I think it'll be stunning. Yeah, it will. And he'll do an incredible job because he always does. You're right about Ford swapping bits. Well, manufacturing would do it, usually without asking engineering. Yeah. Well, Daniel's from Ford. What were you doing at Ford? I can't remember. You're an engineer there, weren't you? And he actually worked for Ford. And that's why when he says something, you can sort of listen because he saw it. He was there. Getting the rust-free doors from that auction really spurred me on. Yeah, it would. Hi, Peter. Great to see you doing live stream. How's the family going? They're going well. My ex-wife had an operation on some veins in her legs. So two of my daughters went up there and spent some time. Rosie just got back today. She was up there for a fortnight just helping out. I went and picked her up from the hospital in Ararat. I went up there a couple of weeks ago, or last week, a week before, I think, and picked her up from there. So she's been all right. We're still very good friends. We're really, really close friends. And the kids are all well. The kids are still here. And they're just expensive to keep. Expensive to buy food for because there's three of them. Three, and they're living with me. They used XA heater boxes in F100s. I have a couple in the shed. I think I've got one. Yeah, I have got one. We've got most of the parts for the car. So I've got front guards, I've got the four doors, I've got the bonnet, I've got the boot lid. Graham put the roof on. So all the panels. There's the right end rear quarter, which is a mess. And I wanted to change it. I'm still thinking about that. But it'll need quite a lot of surgery on the back. So it'll need a taillight panel. It'll need part of the boot floor. It'll need all this sort of stuff. So it's a big job. I've got to do a little bit of welding on the floor, I think. The front of it's mint, and did it need sills? I can't remember if it needs sills. I think it needs sill ends. I think the ends of the sills are rusted. I don't know about the midsection. I think they're all right. I get a call to the plant when they swap bits and didn't work. They would not tell me what they'd done. For example, diff ratios. Yeah, you've seen a lot down there, haven't you? So, yeah, it's all good. It's just slow going with this bloody rust repair stuff. I know like Graham doesn't like doing it as a job. It'll get under your skin after a while. And yeah, I'm just waiting on a tub of auto transmission assembly lube, and then I can put that C4 back together. I'll stick it on the back of the 302. So that's all ready to go. Oh, no, it's not. I've got to change the carburetor on it. But the rest of it's ready to go. And once that engine bay is painted, it goes back in the car, or it goes in the car. It had a 6 in it before. Ararat's a lovely town. I fly gliders from airfields at the Grampians. From the airfield, the Grampians are great. It is nice up there. I love it. Graham's been fixing rust for the better part of 20 years. I hate every moment of it. It's just it's a pain in the neck to do, but the results are so good. And it's such a reward when you've done it. And it keeps our lovely old cars on the road. I can't imagine myself in an EV. I'd buy a hybrid before an EV. I just don't want one. I don't like them. I don't trust them. But some of that's probably because I don't really know much about them. I've never driven one. They're very fast. I've been in one, but I've never driven one. But I've no interest in them. It was like just being in a golf cart, sort of electric car. It's boring. It's a rewarding thing and it pays the bills. I know, but when someone says that, you sort of, It's like when I was a mechanic, I hated it, but as soon as I retired from it, I started swinging spanners. And when I'm doing it for myself or whatever, it doesn't bother me so much. But when I'm doing it for a job, I didn't enjoy it. You just get fed up to the back teeth. Gosh, 2018, yeah. You've been watching this stuff for a while. Hi Pete, love to see a fleet update on all your cars, especially ones we don't see on the channel very often. Some of the cars you have we didn't get here in the UK. Oh, especially the Fords. You're from England. Um, the ones you don't see much of the MG. There's a Sigma there. You guys would have called those Galants. And there's a Commodore. What else is up there? I can't remember. Hello, Liam. How are you? My son, an apprentice pedal beater in Bendigo. I'll send him your details. He could help you out with some grunt work and welding, and you could teach him something if I get time. I steal time to go out there. And, today, this afternoon, I went out for a little while, but I was a bit weak because I've been sort of sleeping. Bill, yes, I've got your handbrake. And thank you very much, Bill. And that handbrake is going in the Fairlane because the Fairlane's handbrake was knackered. It was broken. So I've got that handbrake in the garage. I know exactly where it is, and it's going in the Fairlane. So thank you very much. You've been watching before I had grey hair. Yeah, I got grey hair now. It's because I've got adult children at home. You get fed up with that. But yeah, that's all I've been doing. I've been doing some work at the other house. I've got another house up in the country. And well, let me just rephrase that. The bank owns another house in the country, so they never own both. And I've been doing some work up there, taking stuff up there, helping my ex with her house up there, and that's taken a lot of time as well. But I'm working less hours, so I'm not working every second Monday. That being said, that has actually hurt me financially. Joe Graham, it came back XA Coop guy. It was Adelaide RC guy. Did you find the EJ rust repair sections you misplaced? No, I haven't looked for them. I didn't spend much time out there today. It was so the Y frames on the front of the EJ. There's a lower mount that goes against the floor that are welded to the floors. Well, there's two sets of lower mounts. One sort of welded to the sill, the other one's welded to the floor. And Graham gave me every rust cut you can imagine on that car when I got it from him. And I can't find them because I want to put those wireframes on. There's a little bit of a rust repair on one side. I think there's two small patches I've got to do. And then that can go and I can roll the car around and I can even sit that red motor in there. And, it make things a lot easier when you can start doing stuff like that. And I can't find them. They're in here somewhere or they're around somewhere, but I don't know where they are. But I will find them. It's just a matter of looking for something else and then they'll turn up. But if I look for those, I'll never find them. But things like that have a way of coming in there. Not looking for them. I'd like to see you driving and enjoying the cars some more. Yeah, I probably should. I still haven't even done 1,000 miles in that XW yet. When I'm driving them though, I've always got people around me. Yeah, I work in a place where there's 1,500 people, actually 1,700 people or what. And I live with 3 kids in their 20s, and then I'll go out in the garage and I'll start talking to a camera and this sort of stuff. But sometimes you need your time alone, and you get you just don't want to talk to anyone. You just think, I just don't feel like saying anything now. I should go, but when I'm driving them around, I don't say anything. I don't have music on or anything. I'm just quiet in there and enjoying the noise they make. But I should. I actually should do that. I've done it a few times, but not very often. If I remember to, I will. Spent over $1,000 keeping my K on the road the last few months. Replaced the alternator, starter, left-hand drive shafts, all pigs to do. A mystery leak wetting the rear left-hand footwell. What's the door seal like? Is that a KE laser? Best thing Graham did was stop doing videos for a few weeks. Yeah, they do get, well, they get, yeah. I've never put a great deal of work into videos, and I shouldn't say that because it's the wrong thing to say, but I've always sort of just filmed everything and then gone inside, got rid of the bad language, got rid of any noises, or anything that could be construed as a noise that no one wants to hear and that sort of stuff, and whatever. Edited that sort of stuff out. But I don't actually plan anything. I just go out there, do what I'm doing at the time, and then post it. Do the kids get to drive the cars? Charlie's driven them. The trouble is that most of the cars, well, Lana can drive an auto, but she hasn't driven. She hasn't driven the XW. Charlie's driven a few of them. What's the prop on the wall? Hang on. No, we're going back this way, and we're going above my head. That prop, I thought it would look cool when I first moved into this house. I thought it'd be nice to have a nautical theme, but that was a birthday card for my auntie who died 25 years ago, and it's the Queen Mary in the background in a steam train, and I thought it was a really cool one, so I had it copied and made it bigger, and framed it. And there's the Titanic and SS United States, and there's a little that one there's got like that one there's got, it's like a beach scene. So it was supposed to be, it's just a two-bladed prop. I wanted a three-bladed one. It's solid brass, it weighs a ton. I had to find a stud and stick a coach bolt into the stud. K Laser, yeah, they're great little cars, aren't they? But there's no rips on the door. Okay, the best thing to do is pull the carpet up. Yeah, sit inside it, get someone to hose up to the windows, see if anything comes in. If nothing comes in, go a bit higher, and you'll eventually see where it's coming from. It might even be coming from somewhere you're not expecting. Have a good night, Pete. Cheers from William at Gambia, South Australia. See you later. Have a lovely day. Hope the black dog stays away. Oh, I was under the impression the EJ was getting sold to make room. Yes, it was. I must be wrong. Putting a red motor is the new plan. Right. So I need some money because I'm poor at the moment and I have no room. So yes, the EJ was going to be sold. But then the only thing I have money in the EJ is its engine. And I'm not that keen on grey motors, never have been. And so I thought, well, I'm a few grand in on that, probably 2.5 grand or something. I don't know. And I thought, well, I'll sell all the engine stuff because it's all machine work's done, The crank hasn't been ground yet, and the head hasn't been done, but the rest of it's all there, all done, bored, new pistons, a new Clive cam, and all this sort of other stuff, all these lovely bits. And I thought, well, Alana wanted it. She actually really liked it. And I like EJs too, but I just didn't see, I didn't think I'd get it done, this sort of stuff. I wasn't really keen to do it in the end. And so she wanted, but she only drives an automatic. She goes, how much would it be to put an automatic in? I said, well, it's easy to do. It's just going to cut the floor because it's a small tunnel floor. And then she said, oh, would you do it for me? And this sort of stuff. It's like, yeah, right. Okay. So I bought that 202. I'll paint it up like an EH motor, so it'll be the dark red. And I'll make it look oldie worldy and stick it in with a Trimatic, which is kind of sacrilege if you're into original EJs. The problem with EJs is they haven't got a whole lot of value at the moment. They sort of sunk a bit, and you can get like nice one for 20 grand, which is a shame. So yeah, well, I'll do it. I'm even thinking, so I was going to do it Conisite cream, but I'm doing the Galaxy in springtime yellow. I even thought about getting just 10 litres of that and doing both of them. But don't tell a Holden enthusiast that. Teachers are too generous with their energy, Peter. We're forever giving to others, but although we're extroverted, it does make you crave a bit of solitude. It does, doesn't it? The garage shed is a welcome escape. Yeah, I kind of get that. Liam's a teacher too, up in Queensland. What's the price of gas over there? Just a bit over $3 a litre here in New Zealand. It was $2.20. It was $2.35 at one point. Then it went down to $2.09. Then it went to $2.20, and I think it's floating around $2.10 around there. When it's good, it's like $1.90 or something. But I haven't seen it at that for a little while. $1.81 for 91. Wow, where's that? Hose the windowsill and go above. Yeah, just hose it off. Gee, $3.09 for 91. That's how they're going to get people into electric vehicles, by just pricing them out of petrol. Do you think Mitsubishi should bring back the Sigma? Well, if they did, it'd just be the name. The car would be nothing like it. Sigmas were very popular when they were new in the 70s, early 80s, but they didn't. I don't think they aged well. How do I put it? I think a lot of the front wheel drive stuff that replaced them was sort of better in a lot of ways. You have Toyotas and stuff like that. The laser's brilliant. The laser, the K-San K lasers are fantastic cars. I'm looking forward to the Galaxy FE vids. Yeah, me too. I've got to test that FE. I've got one here. I've got to test it. I even made a dash. Hang on. Where is it? Oh, here. Look at this. Oh. That's a dash I've made for the engine stand for that 390, 352 engine stand. It's got a little start button and switches and all sorts of crap. Warning lights. It's all wired up, ready to go. That's been sitting there for months. I did that last year. Coil fuel. It's nice, isn't it? So that'll go on that. It was sold to me as a 352, but it has a C6 on it. And if it's original, it won't be a 352 because they didn't come with them. They came with an MX. So I don't know. It'll probably be a 352. It doesn't matter. I'll muck around with it and do something with it. You're planning to make it 202 look less modern. Yeah, well, they're antiquated, but I need it to look more antiquated. Have you seen Yes Marks? Is it Bear? Is that how you pronounce his name? Yes, he's got good videos. They think they came but run out of puff too soon. Are you talking about 202s? Because it's all in the carby. I've got that Weber one off that 250. I might stick that on. Graham's still on his 5th tank of fuel in the Starley since getting it. Jeez. That's not much fuel. What's the tank? Hang on. Have you seen? I'm just looking for it, mate. What about? Yeah. Let's talk about how much fuel consumes. I think 5 kilometer drive through. Oh, the tank. So he did 5 kilometers and it chewed through 35 liters. It's about an 18-liter engine, though, I think, isn't it? $1 compared to $2.06, the cheapest by close. Oh, close by. Yeah. Filled 2 20-liter containers. Yeah, we're nearly at an hour. I'll bail at an hour. We're sort of sitting at about 70 odd people, which is nice. It's very nice to do this. I haven't done it for ages. 202 Trimatic will be perfect. In fact, it will turn the tyres no problem, even with a Stromberg with adjustable main jet. Jeez. 670 cubic inch. So that's got to be 13 litres or so. Whereabouts do you get your hydroblasting done? And also, where are you sending your bolts to get re-zinced? Hydroblasting's Furniture Galley Hydroblasting. Guy's name's John. He does all the blasting. And the zinc, Warners aren't there at the moment. Well, they're not there now. So I've been using big zinc in Montrose. Um, but yeah, I don't want to. So a 3800 from a VX Commodore in DEJ. I want an old school inline six. It has to be an old school Holden straight six. I mean, I would have even a 149 makes more power than a 138. They're 95 horsepower or something. But I'll use the 282. I'd like to think it would have been rebuilt, but I'd like to say it's still in good condition on the inside. Um, where am I? What's your opinion on E series Falcons? I was recently selling my XC Falcon and planning with an EAS pack. I think I'm regretting my decision to sell. I like EFs and ELs. I actually really like those. EAs, Bs, and Ds. EAs were the first of the model and had a few teething problems. A lot of people bag EAs, but there's some nice ones kicking around. A guy that bought a Starlet gearbox from me, he came in one. He's got a low mileage one. It was really nice. I just like the look of the EFs and ELs. I think they're fantastic looking car and very nice to drive. The only problem with them is they're pretty heavy on fuel. Thanks for all the content. I still really enjoy your videos. Both Buicks arrived. That's the 6 and the V6. I think the 302 is a fantastic engine, especially on LPG, plenty of torque. 186 is nice, but 186s are harder to get now. Yeah. Graham likes his red motors, but his grey motors, but the red takes the reds. The red's a seven main bearing engine. There's more scope for sort of messing around with them. Rebuilding them's a lot cheaper too. Fuel injector 3.3 out of a VK. It's got a 12-port head. Yeah, you could use something like that. I just want to keep it old school. That's all. We'll just see. It's no biggie. I mean, it's not exactly going to be next week. It's going to be a little while down the track before I do it. But I'd like to get that plenum done sooner than later. That's something I really want to get done, and the front on it so I can roll it around. And I might even leave it up at the other place while I finish off because I've got the Fairlane will go up there. Once I'm finished that, I'll drive it up there. You remember how good my XB went with a fresh 302? Yeah, they do. 302s are good. When they're XC ZH 302s that are on gas are slow. Some of them are just painfully slow. But then one of the slowest cars I've ever been in was a 351. That was in a ZH with gas on it. That was with old gas, if you know what I mean. That was terrible. My Corolla would have thumped it. Yeah, yellow terror head, no pollution crap. You put the Weber Carby on it, or I've got a 186S manifold set up here with a Stromberg WW. But someone said to me that the Weber Carby from the XEXF, whatever, is a good modification for them. They respond really well to it. I've had 186s, 192s with Hollies, but Cube still wins on the street, in my opinion. 202 torque will pull the try perfectly. Yeah. I had an HD Holden Premier I got for $3,000 or $2,000 from a guy. Interior was mint, and it just needed small rust repairs, and I sold it. I shouldn't have. A guy actually in Tasmania bought it, and he got it on the road pretty quickly. And he sent me photos, and it was nice to sort of see that because he got it going really well. How far is it between the two places? 2.5 hours in a car. Never owned a Holden. Holdens are good. I like Holdens. I like anything, old cars are just beautiful. Graham and I were talking about American cars from the 60s, and they're just gorgeous. 50s, 60s American stuff is just stunning. Some of the 70s stuff is nice, but the 80s, I don't know, they just dropped the ball. But then every now and then you get a model that you like. Crown Vics are one of them. One of my kids just loves Crown Vics. I do too, but they're huge. I wouldn't mind one. If a Crown Vic came up, I'd grab it. I'm not sure if you talked about it before I came here, but what's on the horizon for the next 12 months? Well, the XC goes on the road. and I'll finish the plenum on the EJ. I want to get the EJ rolling, and there's a couple of motorbikes I want to finish too. And I want to get that Galaxy. Oh, the Fairlane I'll have finished. That's a pretty quick job, I think. If it's anything like the Sigma, which it is, it's a pretty big job. So I'll get that done too. Holden Black engine was only rated for 130,000 and it was done. I remember hearing so many blacks with rod knot. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? Anyway, what are we doing now? We're at 1 hour. So I might say thanks very much for watching and look after yourselves and all this sort of stuff and take care. Hang on. Red's low tech but tough as nails. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks very much for watching, and hopefully I have a video up quite soon. I just haven't really started filming anything yet, which is why I came on here. But I'm a bit tired. I might just sit in front of the telly and nod off, I think. But anyway, thanks very much. We'll try and do this a bit more frequently because I've sort of been a bit slack. So have a lovely day. I'll see you soon.